Hey there, and welcome back to the Tax Sale Podcast, where we make tax sale investing both simple and accessible for the everyday person. My name is Casey Denman, and I'm the founder of the Tax Sale Academy, author of the Tax Sale Playbook, and your guide to the world of tax lien and tax deed investing. Today we'll be talking about a very important topic for every single tax sale investor out there, and that is building an effective tax sale investment strategy. It does not matter if you're a veteran investor or you're brand new to this business. You must have a solid strategy if you want long-term success. But here's the thing. There is not a one-size-fits-all strategy in this business. People ask me where they should invest, what they should buy, what will work best for them. I can say without a doubt, there is no best answer to that question. It varies based on your specific circumstances, your goals, your preferences. If you understand that right off the bat, you will be far ahead of the game. What everybody else does is of no concern to you. Yes, you can learn from them, but then develop your own approach. Your approach must be tailored to you, your knowledge, your time that you have available to invest, the capital that you're starting with, your location that you want to invest in or you're investing from, your preferences, and any relevant experience that you might have. So for example, a doctor working 50 hours a week in California is likely to have different strategies, and they're likely to invest far differently than the person that is a retiree that has all the time in the world that lives on the East Coast. They each have different time factors in determining where and how they want to invest. They have different life factors that influence how they will invest. So if you're looking for a magic formula for tax sale investing, I hate to break it to you, but it does not exist. Instead, you need to craft your own strategy that aligns with your specific situation. Everybody is unique. Let's discuss some key factors that should influence how your strategy is developed. The first one is your knowledge and your experience. Are you a brand new tax sale investor, or do you have a few deals underneath your belt? If you're a beginner, right off the bat, before anything else, I highly suggest that you take the time to learn what you are doing. This is one of those things that seems easy on the outside looking in, but the nuances of this business will put you out of business and possibly out of money before you even realize it if you go at it blindly. And then when you do have all this knowledge, I highly recommend you start off with the simplest of deals. Don't go after the crazy stuff like the lighthouses and the old church buildings and school buildings and stuff like that you think you can make a killing off of by redeveloping into some sort of complex scenario. Go after the very easy stuff. There's a lot of money in the simple tax sale deals. Next up, we need to talk about time. How much time do you have to dedicate to tax sale investing realistically? If you're working full-time or have you other significant commitments, you might have limited hours to spend on research, attending auctions, or managing properties that you do purchase. In that case, you might need to go to online auctions opposed to in-person auctions, for example. You might also want to go after the simplest investments again, perhaps vacant lots instead of houses. On the other hand, if you're retired or you have a more flexible schedule, you might decide to invest in the more complex type stuff that will take maybe a few visits down to the county office to hash out your plans with them. Or you might also decide you want to travel the country, attending auction after auction after auction. Everybody has a little bit of different time commitments. There's people that do very well with tax sale investing as a side hustle. And there's people that do very well with tax sale investing as a full-time job. But understand the strategies that they use do vary. Something else to consider is the capital that you have to deploy into your tax sale business. How much money do you have to invest? You can get into this business with very limited funds. You can even do it with no funds using creative funding methods. But the important thing to understand here is that the lower your budget is, the more limited your opportunities will be and the more patient you must be. This is usually the opposite of what you want to hear. I know. But with a small budget, you must ensure that you only make home run type deals because you don't have the capital that will allow you to fail yourself forward. Instead, if you fail, you'll be out of business. Whereas if you have substantial capital that you're starting with, you might be able to make a mistake here and there and it probably won't break you. But even still, most mistakes are very much avoidable. Now, if you do have substantial capital, maybe you go after higher valued properties. Maybe your marketing methods are more robust, or you simply go after a higher volume of properties with a perhaps slightly reduced margin. Remember, that your financial goals should dictate your strategy as well. Are you looking for quick flips that you can buy for $300 and sell for $1,500, get in, get out, have a little bit of money and move on? Or do you want those massive, massive deals? Maybe you invest $100,000 and turn it into $200,000 or $300,000. What exactly are you looking for? These are things that you need to take into consideration. And then the last one that we just can't forget about is your personal preference and your risk tolerance. Do you prefer the relatively hands-off nature of a tax lien, where you buy the tax lien and then 95% of the time you go out to your mailbox, collect the check, get your interest on the unpaid taxes, and that's it? You move on to the next one? Or are you more comfortable with putting forth additional effort but potentially making more money with tax deeds? Do you want to invest only in single-family homes? Or will you invest in vacant property as well? What about investing out of area? Are you comfortable doing that? Odds are, if you're not comfortable doing something in this business, it's just a lack of understanding. It's just a lack of gaining the knowledge to give you that comfort level. But regardless, until you do get that understanding, don't force yourself into a stressful situation because it's completely unnecessary. Your strategy needs to align with your comfort level and how you envision your day-to-day involvement in this business. Now, you have all this data that we need to kind of assemble and help you establish your strategy, right? We want you to have a step-by-step approach. So the first thing is to assess where you're at right now. How much capital do you have? How much time do you have? What's your experience level? What are your financial goals? What's your preferences? Answer all these questions and you'll have all the data necessary. The next thing is to choose the market or markets you want to invest in. This could be your local market, or it could be another location that you're familiar with or you have thoroughly researched. I have videos on choosing different tax sale markets, so make sure you take the time to review those. Now, along with your location, a lot of that's going to be depending on what you want to invest in. Decide whether you're going to focus on tax liens, tax deeds, redeemable deeds, or a combination of all three. This will largely depend on your risk tolerance, capital, time, effort, all that kind of stuff. Remember, tax liens, lower return, less effort. Tax deeds, higher return, more effort, okay? After that, develop a research plan. Research is the primary reason that somebody will succeed or fail as a tax sale investor. So make sure to develop a research strategy that works. Now, in the Tax Sale Academy, we have a process you can follow. We also teach about it very, very thoroughly. Now, if you don't want to join the Academy, I have dozens of videos here on YouTube. Got plenty of podcast episodes as well, and you can build your own research strategy. The next one is to consider building some sort of network. Find local help when it is needed. Even though you can do this business entirely online, you will need some sort of local help in the form of a scout to take a final look at the properties to make sure that that house you're buying has not burned down in the past month. This person can be found rather easily and will help make sure you're not forcing yourself into a bad investment. Other locals that could help you might include attorneys, realtors, and other investors. So don't be afraid to reach out to those folks, to search those people out online, to add them to your team. It's going to make your life a lot easier, especially if you're investing out of area. And then from there, it's just a matter of going to the auction and buying properties. Don't force yourself to go big right out of the gate. Don't spend all your capital on one property if you don't have to. Understand that there's a lot of power in buying properties and making these small incremental gains so you can learn through time and you're able to adjust your strategy as you gain that experience and as you gain that confidence. Over time, of course, scale up to larger deals as you grow your capital and as you become more and more comfortable. The truth is, there's no right way to invest in tax sale properties as long as you're not losing money. It's all about finding what works for you, learning continuously, and being willing to adapt as your knowledge, as your capital, and as your circumstances evolve over time in this business. So that's all I got for you today. I truly hope that this episode has helped you understand how to start building a strategy that fits your tax sale investment needs. If you found today's episode helpful, please do me a huge favor and leave a positive review or hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to check out all links in today's show notes, including our comprehensive training program at taxsaleacademy.com, where we dive deeper into strategies just like this one and much, much more. Hey, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time right here on the Tax Sale Podcast. Bye-bye.